body covering, food habit. Yes. So if we talk about this, breathing techniques, then we talk about few human beings. If we are talking about human beings, they breathe through nose. Yes, with the help of lungs, that is the mouth and the trachea. Human beings and animals breathe through nose. And the air we breathe in, where does it go? It goes into the lungs. And in human beings and the animals which have lungs, yes, and breathe through their nose, there are 2 lungs in the body. And which air we breathe in? Children? Yes, tell me. Yes, Nidhi, you can tell me which air goes inside when you breathe in like this. Yes, it is oxygen. Very good. And then when we breathe out, yes, it goes out from our mouth. You can see here from the nose it goes out, the air, that is which gas? Carbon dioxide. Yes, so this are the breathing techniques for the living things, that is the human beings and animals. Now if we talk about fish, fish also has few organs, and that organ name is gills. It lives in water, they do not have any nose, then also they are alive because they use the dissolved form of oxygen in water. So the breathing techniques, which is the organ, the name is gills. Yes, you can see here the gills. Yes. Now if we talk about frog, frog sometimes is in water, sometimes on the land. So frog are amphibians, before this we saw. So if they are on land, they breathe through lungs. If they are in water, then they are going to breathe through their moist skin. You have seen frogs, the skin is moist. Yes, so they breathe in. So these are the breathing techniques for the human beings we saw. We saw the animals which have lungs, they also having the breathing techniques. Fish, then we saw the amphibians, that is the frog example, yes. So different techniques are there. Now if we talk about earthworms, insects, we talk about all types of big animals and small. If we talk about insects, then we take the example of earthworm. You see the earthworm skin is so shiny. Yes, in the rainy season you see the earthworms. Yes, these earthworms are very small and this insect breathe through their body surface. So they don't have lungs, yes, they are going to breathe through moist skin. Then there are few insects, yes, like cockroach and all. They have few holes on their body and that are known as spiracles. With that is the organ through which they breathe through. Now if we talk about few things about the breathing techniques, then we talk for the movements, how all these animals are moving. So if we first see why the movement is there in the animals or human beings or insect, the reason is they are always in search of food and shelter. So for that, to escape from danger also, they are going to have few movements. So if we talk about human beings, how do they move? If you want to walk, what do you use? Yes, which organ? That is the legs, yes. So movement for human beings, we have 2 legs. The same way, if we talk about animals, they have 4 legs. So their front legs, yes, they are having 4 limbs. From there, the front legs are called the forelimbs and the back are called hind limbs. And few examples if we say for the animals, you can write any, dog, cat, tiger, lion, etc. Yes. Now if we talk about fish, yes, then they have fins, gills for breathing and the fins for movement. As we see here, they have powerful tail that help them to move in water. In water also there is a large current, yes, then also they are moving in the direction opposite to it. Who helps? Fins help. And to balance themselves and they can change their directions. Then we talk about few ducks, swans. They are going to move with the webbed feet. Our fingers are here, they don't have here the skin. They have it. So it is known as webbed feet that allows them to swim in water. Next is frog. They are very long, the hind legs, that is the back legs are very, very long. Yes, they can move on land, they can jump also. And if we talk about the reptiles, here we can see a crocodile and all. Yes, tortoise, they crawl, but they are having very short legs. So this all are the different examples how the animals move. Now if we go for the next, we are talking about the snake. If you have seen a snake, do a snake have any legs, children? No. So then how they are going to move? They are having the scales below their skin. Through there they move. The next is birds. Birds have legs. Yes. They are having 2 legs. And the other 2 are, nature has made them into wings. So these wings are the limbs. And they can fly. So these are the movement organs for birds. And why they are flying? The reason is the bones are very hollow. Yes, if you remove your pen, yes, in that you remove the refill, then you can see through it. That is the hollow thing. The same way the bones are hollow and they are very light in weight, so the birds can fly. They are very light in weight. Now if you are talking about few insects, the grasshopper or any of the insects, children, then they have 6 legs. Yes, and they have powerful hind legs. Now what is the hind legs? The back legs. Yes, to hop around the ground. Which are the other examples? It can be the house fly, it can be the dragonfly, through which they can fly. Now if we talk about the, after the movement, the body covering. Every animal, human beings have covering around their body. Now if we first talk about the fish, lizards, crocodiles, they have scales around their body. And this prevents water from entering their body. They are always staying in water. Yes, but they are always comfortable in it. The reason is of the scales. Then if we talk about the tortoise, snail, yes, they are also having very delicate bodies. On top of that there is a shell to protect it, yes. So they have hard shells to protect. If you go near, then these all go inside, yes. You have seen the tortoise, the snail, yes. So these are the body coverings. Our body is covered with the skin, yes or no, children? The same way we are talking about the fish, then we talk about the tortoise. Now we go for the birds. Birds have the outer covering is the feathers. In the next coming chapter, we are going to learn different types of feathers. Why do they have, yeah? So this is the basic thing, body covering of birds. That is because of the feathers. Now if we talk about the hair on the bodies of bears and sheep, you have seen. If we talk about the sheep on snow-covered land, and they are having lot of fur. For what reason it is? They keep them warm. So that is also a part of body covering. Now if we talk about camels, then their skin is very, very thick. Yes, to prevent loss of water. If the sweating is less, prevention of water is less, then they can conserve the water, food for a longer time. So it's written, see, very thick skin that prevent loss of water through sweat. Prevent means it stops. Yes, there is less because the reason is skin is very thick. Then next we see about the to save from other animals. Example is chameleon. You see here the background is green and it has turned itself into green. That is known as camouflage. Yes. So chameleon is an example that it can change the color of their bodies and to protect themselves from the prey. Yes, that process is known as camouflage. You see the snow-covered snow leopards, they are also of that type. Yes. Now if you go for food habits, so we saw the breathing techniques, we saw movements, we saw the how the body is covered and protected. Now we see the food habits. If we go for the food habits, on the basis of their eating, we saw in the starting the herbivores, animals, carnivorous animals, and omnivores. Now for the food habits, they are categorized carnivores. Why? Because they are eating meat, the flesh of other animals. If we talk about herbivores, then they are plant eating, either they eat plants or green grass. Omnivorous, in the first topic we saw, with the pictures and examples, plant and meat eating animals. And scavengers. Scavengers clean the ecosystem, eating flesh of dead animals. Yes. Now, then we'll be talking in detail how it is. So, herbivorous, if we take the first one, then you can see the example we had seen in the picture. You can write any of the examples of herbivorous. Yeah. Zebra, deer, sheep, cows. But how are their front teeth we had seen in the picture? How was the front part? Yes, it is sharp front teeth. Yes, but it is used for biting. And the flat back teeth for grinding the food. As we have our back teeth are flat. Yes, same way they are having it for the chewing their own food. Now, if we talk about the carnivorous animals, yes, we had seen the lion with the big 4 teeth, yes or not, in the first part. Same way we are talking here, the tigers, wolves, they have sharp pointed teeth, because this is the topic of food habits. Yes, so tearing the flesh of the other animals. If we talk, we had seen the gnawing of the rabbit and squirrel, that is also a type of food habit. So they have sharp front teeth for gnawing. They can chew the hard grains, yes, with their front teeth. Now, if we talk about scavengers, you can see here the vultures, yes, eagles, they are going to have the sharp beaks for eating flesh. So, these are the different eating habits. So, this is the end of our chapter, yes, and we'll be learning more about it in the next chapter. Thank you, children.